Hello and welcome to Dropkick Chronicles. I'm your boy Trey, and it's episode 12. Tonight I want to talk about what happened at WWE NXT Worlds Collide. Now, NXT Worlds Collide is just like it's competition for both NXT brands. NXT now, which now is NXT 2.0, but it's NXT 2.0 and NXT UK. To go head to head to see who the best of the best of both brands. Now, there were title unification matches in this event. So I want to say that those matches unified both NXT and NXT UK championships via tag team championships, or world championships. So basically tag team or singles titles. So the first match I want to get into, this is not a unification match, it's more of a regular championship match. Now this championship match had a lot of action in it. Let me see. So we have the NXT North American Championship on the line. We also have two guys, two high flyers. One's, big, he's a bit of crafty guy. And the other one is just a high flyer and he has a lot of skill. He's an extraordinary man, so you may know him as Ricochet, and you may know the other man I described as Carmelo Hayes. Now, man, you talk about two guys who are NXT veterans. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows Ricochet's story. Ricochet is, a guy who was on the independent scene. He was brought in to NXT some odd, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Carmelo Hayes didn't get to NXT until about 2019 or 2020, preferably 2020, because he was the breakout star that year. So yeah, these two guys were, man, you talk about action, high impact action. That match was just like, it was, I don't want to say it was spot heavy, but it was kind of like, okay, high flying, and you got moves off the top ropes, you got moves off the springboard. So I just want to get into it, you know what I'm saying? Both of those guys, Carmelo Hayes, of course, ended up winning the match and retaining his NXT North American Championship. But, of course, via distraction by Trick Williams, if you don't know him, he is kind of like, I don't want to say an advocate for Carmelo Hayes, but he's his best friend. As a matter of fact, a little funny fact, I had a pleasure of meeting those two guys. Inside of a restaurant in Florida. So, yeah, man, we talk about, great guys. Of course, they carry themselves very well. They're professionals. Of course, at all times you must be professional. Now, I want to say that this match was just a highlight reel, bro. You can go back on Peacock, on NBC's Peacock, the streaming app, and watch NXT Worlds Collide 2022. Man, it was good, There was no, it wasn't a bad match, To me, it wasn't a bad match. Some people might have their opinions. Of course, they might have their opinions. Hey, it's okay. This is a collective, industry where everybody can enjoy it. Everybody can have an opinion without being judged. So that match was great. It got an A. Actually, it was, like I said, it was the best match on the card. It was the overall best match on the card. So that's that. I want to now move on to, I want to move on to the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match to unify the NXT and NXT UK Tag Team Championships. Now, this match was between the NXT champions, Diamond Mine, basically the Creed brothers, versus the NXT UK tag team champions, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen, versus these guys from the UK themselves. I think let me see. I think some of them might be from either Ireland or Scotland. I can tell by the sound of the voice. But I think it's a 4-guy group. 2 of them wrestle. Their name is Gallus. They just came to NXT 2.0 from NXT UK. And then, of course, you have Pretty Deadly. Man, here's what I have to say. Doing, reporting all this, man, Triple H, and I'm going to keep saying this, Triple H is really doing what needs to be done. He knows what he's doing. For those people who might have a different opinion about how things have shifted, I mean, don't get me wrong, Mr. McMahon, Vince he created WWE. Well, he didn't create WWE, but he made WWE what it is today. And man, I appreciate that. That's a good thing. He made the company what it is today. That's a great thing. So I would be remiss if I said, Vince McMahon, did a bad job or anything like that. He just bad booking and bad creative. That's it. But I thank Triple H for doing what he did so that we can have a better WWE. So, what I want to say is thank you, man. Thank you. So, that tag team match was pretty good. It was pretty action-packed. It got a C+ as a grade, for betting odds and things like that. So, what I want to say is Pretty Deadly. Yeah, Pretty Deadly. If you don't know who Pretty Deadly is, the guys I think they're from the UK as well. I think they're British. It's this gimmick, they dress all flamboyant. They got blonde hair and they look like Millie Vanilli. Yeah, they're the wrestling Millie Vanilli, except one guy's not black. They're both British. So they're like, this pretty flamboyant type of style, in-ring style and gimmick. They are cocky, brash, in your face, pretty arrogant at times. And it's pretty cool and everything like that. I'm like, man, these guys are pretty. They some, what's, man. They some a-holes, man. Like, ooh. But they actually made history. And for the first time ever, they unified both NXT and NXT UK tag team titles. Now, I want to move on to the second to last match. Actually, I won't. You know what? I'm gonna move on to another match, and then I'll come back to that one. Now, next I want to talk about the NXT Women's Tag Team title match between Katana Chase. Actually, Katana Chance, my bad. Katana Chance used to be Casey Catanzaro, I think. Yeah, but they changed her name to Katana Chance. And it's her and Kaden Carter. Both of their initials are KC. That's kind of crazy. So it's them versus Nikki ASH, almost a superhero, and Doudrop, whose name used to be Piper Niven. If anybody didn't know that, she got to the main roster from NXT UK and got a name changed. So for the majority of that match, one of the teams looked like the superior team and they dominated the competition. Late in the match, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, which is Toxic Attraction, appeared and they got the attention of Nikki ASH, who fended them off, but hey, they got taken out by Chance and Carter. They got taken out by the opposing tag team, the women's tag team champions, and they won the match and retained the championships. And the match got a C as a grade. It was pretty cool. I mean, to put a women's tag team championship on the line in NXT, just not on the main roster as well, it's saying something, man. It's really saying something that you would like to put a championship like that, a history-making championship like that, on a match card. So it's really giving. It's like it's history being made, man, and I love it. And I love to see women in wrestling and pro wrestling do their thing, and face those type of challenges, because women didn't have, like back in the day when you had your Sables and you had your Stratuses and you had your Leaders, they didn't have a women's tag team championship at all. Women didn't compete in steel cage matches. Women didn't compete in Hell in a Cell matches or Royal Rumble matches. Nothing like TLC matches, nothing like that. Thankful to WWE, we get to see that. So it's history making. So speaking of a women's match, this is the last match that I'm reporting, telling y'all about. So this match was pretty good. It was a triple threat match to unify the NXT and NXT UK Women's Championships. So this match was between Mandy Rose, Blair Davenport. That Blair Davenport came from NXT UK and claimed on NXT 2.0 that she was the number one contender, which is true. I mean, she's the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Of course, she won a match. She won the number one contenders match. It's guaranteed her the spot to face the champion, Mandy Rose. Now, Mandy Rose is, I think, the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion in history, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And the last lady, she a legend. Her name is Miko Satomura, and she is the NXT UK Women's Champion. Now, Mandy Rose, I tell you something about her, man. She is good on the microphone and she is good in the ring. She can go. She can definitely go. In this match, this triple threat bout for the championships, she put on her best performance, man. It seemed like she had gotten better from when she first started, because I remember she got called up to the main roster from NXT in 2017, and she had been, I don't want to say staggering, put on the back burner, but it really, it seemed like that for a long time. And then I think during the pandemic, 2020, not 2020, no, if I'm not mistaken, let me see. All right, I think it was the end of 2020, or the heading to the end of 2020. She, went back to NXT, vowed that she would win the NXT Women's Championship, and did it. She did it. She's been NXT Women's Champion for a long time. She hadn't lost the championship yet. She, like I said, she put in her best performance in this match. She was growing. Growing and glowing. Because, I watched Mandy Rose at her start. I'm like, who is Mandy Rose? They say she's God's greatest creation or anything like that. And it was pretty cool, It's pretty cool to watch this girl with blonde hair wrestle, and she was alongside Sonya Deville for quite some time because they started on the main roster together. And Paige managed them when they were a group called Absolution. If anybody remembers Absolution. So fast forward to now, she ends up unifying both NXT and NXT UK Women's Championships. Yeah, see, I like to see that, man. When they blend both titles, I like to see that, just like they did with, the WWE and the WWE Universal Championships. The WWE Championship and Universal Championship was, unified at WrestleMania. Now we look to see what are they going to do with the championships. And I also received word not too long ago that Triple H was looking to, bring new championship designs to the WWE. Man, let me see. Now I know they won't change the Intercontinental and US titles, but they would certainly do the World Championships, probably the Tag Team Championships. Make it one. I guess we're going back to one WWE instead of a brand split. I mean, I don't know. And he's probably going to change the title designs in NXT as well. Also, another update for y'all is that NXT UK is getting a name change. It's now going to be called NXT Europe, because it's going to be, of course, NXT 2.0 is in the US, and NXT Europe is in Europe. So, yeah, man, it's going to feature everybody, from probably people from Japan, people from China, because WWE did scout in China. They scouted in India as well. Of course, they scouted in Ireland, Scotland. Somebody from France might come over. Who knows? Wrestling is everywhere. Wrestling is everywhere. Oh yeah, all over the world. So, yeah, man, that certainly was NXT, NXT Worlds Collide 2022. That was a great one, man. A real great one. So, I bid y'all adieu. It's been a great time. A great episode 12. I'm your boy Trey. This has been Dropkick Chronicles. I'll see you next time.